It's like 4 in the morning right now. I don't even, I know why I'm recording this, you know what I'm saying? Because a part of me just wants to express. I honestly have no way to really convey like my thoughts better than this, because this method is pretty much what I'm really used to ever since I was little, man. So if you don't know who I am, um, I can't. I'm yeah, the name's Hero, and I've been pretty much living in the United States for at least, give or take, like a little over like 15 years, right? And I think since like 2008, 2007, right? So a little over 15 years. I'll say that coming from like a immigrant background where you don't like, oh, there's no coal. What the heck? Oh, it's just the game's laggy. But yeah, like coming from an immigrant background and not, wow, what the heck is going on with my game? I can't even properly like, am I tripping? No, I'm not. Like, I think this is like the safe zone thing, right? Like, because I was able to break. Hold on, let me like go over here. Let me break this. Okay, my game is just being very stupid. Okay, yeah, it's being very dumb. But anyways, I've been living here for like a little over 15 years, and being an immigrant is one of the trippiest experience, especially first generation immigrant. And what's fortunate is that, like for me, my first generation immigrant experience is not the stereotypical, oh, like I came from the boat and I don't know how to speak English, and like it wasn't like that, you know. It was more like I was still early where I was able to quickly adapt to be able to speak English very fluently, actually. You know, the more I lived in this country, the more I spoke in English, the more I talked to the kids, the more like you become very fluent and whatnot. Your brain develops fully, right? And so like um it feels very strange just being in this situation. And one thing that I did as a kid was I would make YouTube videos. Lots and lots of YouTube videos. You know, I grew up in the early 2010s. You know, to the 2010s were my childhood. They were. For most kids, late teens, late 20 teens was their childhood going into 2020, right? That's their childhood. That's like the Gen Alpha kids. And then late Gen Z, you know, well, I guess I'll make this more even clear. Younger Gen Zs, for them, I guess you could say 2010s is their childhood. Um, at their like sort of when they were a toddler or whatever, right? Or not a toddler, but more like late 2010 or late 2000s, I guess would be um their like what you would call it, their childhood years or whatever. I know a couple of those. You know what I'm saying? Actually, they're way too frequent. People around my age, man. I'm like the freaking millennials of this generation. This 2024, about to reach the halfway mark, going into 25. Like I'm within this. I'm the millennial of this era. Because back then, the millennials would talk about, oh, the 90s were so great, and this, that, and other. And now I'm a freaking Gen Z saying that, oh, wow, like, the 2000s are so much better, and this, that, and other, and whatnot. Wow, my Minecraft just actually freaking crashed. Yeah, good thing I do not care about the production of this. Instead, I just wanted to talk. But so yeah, and for me, like, as a kid from the 2000s who was 10 when he got his first like access to the computer, and the year was 2010. Life was very different. Actually, I got my computer when I was 11, and then you know, over the years, I started to get into more internet related stuff and whatnot. So that's basically like what ended up happening, is that over time, like, yeah, over time, like, my know-how to use this like metal box became more proficient, I guess, if you can even say that. And the thing is like, at the time, I didn't know you can, in the future, you'll be able to make money off of the fact that one would know how to use this metal box. I thought that was just like, you know, like, I thought that was just one of those like, oh, kind of rare make-believe type things. But no, people are like getting paid to make games, or people are getting paid to test games, and that's an act. I didn't, at the time, that wasn't a real like perceived possible job prospect or anything. And at the time, also, YouTube was like very new too. It was a very, very new landscape. I mean, yes, 2010 was like roughly like still like, you know, like YouTube was a little more like developed in 2006. I mean, 2006 was a whole different era, man. And I'm not gonna lie, the 2006 era was a very interesting experience that it's very hard to like, it's pretty much impossible to replicate today. That era of YouTube was so strangely like, because of how rudimentary and underdeveloped things were, it had its unique charm. You know, it had this like cool like atmosphere where it was like the equivalent of going to like an antique shop and picking out like some random cassette tape, and you don't know what's in the cassette tape or what's in the VHS, and you just go home and you're just like putting that VHS into like your CRT, right? Like your freaking box TV, and watching a random show or a random recording or whatever that someone else made. it was the most rawest experience of like a human expression that I saw in that era. There were things like these like interesting like hypercam studio videos where like people would people would like pretty much like record like how-to videos and stuff, and like it was a trip, man. Like, I'll tell you, it was an honest trip going through that experience and witnessing the infancy of not just the internet, but like the early developmental stages of social media as a whole. It was a very unique experience, and I was, yeah, nothing will ever replicate that. And for me, you know, as a kid who's experienced that era of YouTube, I I yearn for it. I miss those days. Like, I miss just being able to hop on to this website and seeing like um and seeing just people create content where it's not dictated, where like the algorithm wasn't straight up in your face. You know, you don't know what you're gonna get, and that aspect of YouTube was so phenomenal. And I think that that's really like, that was such a crucial, like, I think at this point in our in the stage of the internet, like, you know, we'll never truly get that back, but that was an important um aspect to the website. Okay, so my ADHD is going off, and I'm just like going off on a long lore explanation to basically simply say that when I was a kid, I made YouTube videos, and I still have some of those old recordings that I had when I was a kid. And you know, it's strange saying when I was a kid, when I'm 24 now, and my peers, who are, you know, 2 decades older or a decade older, will say, ah, you're still young, right? But then it's so strange my um when my contemporaries know how old they feel, and it's also strange when when the freaking kiddos go, dude, you're freaking old, man. And I'm like, ah, hell, bro, what the heck, man? Like, that's so stupid. Like, and it's just so awkward, and sometimes I like the existential nature of the statements kind like do get to me at times, just because it is. I mean, it's just the reality, man. I'm I'm getting old, um, or rather, I'm getting older. All right, I'm developing as a human, and it's an undeniable reality that this is something that I'm gonna be like having to reconcile all the days of my existence until like the day that um the day that the begotten Son of God shows up, right? Like that, you know, it's, yeah, and it's just an undeniable reality. So I'm doing the ADHD thing where I'm like running around trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. I'm not trying to overuse the phrase ADHD. I'm saying this because I actually have the freaking like the condition, and it's I do. I don't have to freaking like justify myself, but you know, I got the doctor's note. I got the doctor's note. You know what I'm saying, right? And so, yeah, like, so as a kid, I would make YouTube videos, And what did those videos consist of? Well, what was popular back in the day? It was Minecraft videos. YouTube poops were kind of phasing out, if you guys remember what those were. Man, those were that was a freaking art piece, bro. Like it was like OG brain rot, but like it was a masterpiece. And then like, so what was popular at the time? MLG, like memes and phase esports, you know, that stuff was was coming about. um I would have to think. So Minecraft was definitely like popping off. I think yeah, I already said that. Video games like were a very pivotal aspect to YouTube's content. You know, gameplay videos, like a lot of let's play channels. They were so huge back in the day. And what else was there back then? I'm trying to think, man. It's been a fat minute because like, because I have to recall a lot of these information, and normally you don't recall these things. You just kind of have it stored in the very back crevice of your mind, never to really convey it until like you're put in a situation. I guess you have to, which is really cool about making YouTube videos, because you end up having to do that anyways. But yeah, so like Minecraft videos. Like Smosh, you know, comedy channels, right? Like these like skits, these sketches, like the were very popular back in those days. You had a lot of like those really like rudimentary, like old school tutorial, and even then those old school tutorials were actually like pretty old. Like those hypercam videos, yeah, they were pretty old actually, considering the time that I remember as a 12-year-old. Like I remember those hypercam videos were actually getting older. So you can imagine how I feel when I like feel nostalgic about seeing what I deemed as an old content back in its heyday, like, you know, back in like after its heyday or whatever, you know. Well, what else? What else was what I came across back in the day? A lot of like clickbait. Well, okay, clickbait as in like oh yeah, people use nudity to sell, that kind of clickbait. You know what I'm saying? Like top 10 hottest like video game characters type thing or whatever, and it's pretty like, I was very grimy in regards to that sort of approach of marketing. What else? I think let's see. I'm thonking, bruh. What else was there back then? Well, it was Shane Dawson. Okay, I'm just gonna list off like a lot of the old channels I remember. There was Shane Dawson. If you guys don't remember, there's this one channel. It's called Rob's World. And he made like origami tutorials. That blipped. The like his origami tutorials popped off back in this day. The classic one he made was like the transforming ninja star. There was also a guy named Chimney Swift, but I actually ended up watching him after I got really into Minecraft. Oh no, that's not good. I hope I don't die. Please just help me to run away, please. I just Scene Enters was one of them. Paul Juniors. Basherverse, yo, rest in peace, Basher. Um, there was who else was there? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna. I can do that, and then I can just. Hey, yep. And you can't say you can't do anything about it because I'm the one in control. Haha. um, let's see, Basherverse. There was also like, man, like having to recall these like YouTubers like it's really hard. Um, obviously Captain Sparkles was one of them. I'm trying to remember like non Minecraft YouTubers. Okay, like Ryan Higa, or back then he was known as Niga Higa. He's this like Asian dude who like um made like funny like sketches, like comedy sketches. Um there was also College Humor, actually. I remember watching some of those videos. It was kind of strange watching those videos, actually. As a kid, it made me slightly feel uncomfortable in a way, like it's like I don't know how to feel about this humor, but it's I guess it's kind of funny. Um type situation. And then there was what's it called? Um there was this one channel called Inserd. Inserd used to make these really vulgar like Pokemon figure like animation. And when I say vulgar, I don't mean like nudity. I mean like more like like they were very like intense with their words. A lot of swearing, a lot of like crude humor, that sort of deal. Um, I knew them because I was introduced to that channel by like these like one of the neighborhood kids. Um, I still talk to like one of them. Is he doesn't talk to his brother, which is like, I mean, he doesn't see it that much of like a big deal, but I mean it's kind of unfortunate that like, you know, you feel distant towards your like own flesh and blood, but sometimes that's just how circumstances in this existence be. You know what I'm saying? Um, let's see. There's more. Okay, yeah, there was YouTube poops. There was also like, what was there? There was also like, I'm trying to remember all of these guys. I already mentioned Shane Dawson. Oh, dude, there's so many people. Like I remember their faces. I don't remember like their names. That's the problem. It's like a lot. Look, man, as somebody who likes to remember a lot of the history of like YouTube and stuff, like this is one of those things where I really want to remember these things. People say, well, it's like unimportant, and people, I mean, some people can object that some of these things are unimportant, but for me it was important in a sense that it all kind of contributed to how I perceived the landscape of reality. You know what I'm saying? And as a result, that's why it's important. And you know what, I'll say this, right? Even though like the content might not have been the most edifying thing for my Christian audience here, I will say that God cares about each and every one of these souls. And so like for me, this is a way for me to exercise like remembering the souls of those I encountered, even if it's like in a sense of like I didn't really know them, you know what I'm saying? But for me, they still left an impact on me as a human being. So yeah. Anyways, let me think, man. There's more. Oh, Nerf Wars, man. I remember Nerf Wars too. Okay, so yeah, Nerf Wars. That was a big thing. There's a guy named like Chris Cox or CA Cox 97. He was super important to my childhood. Um, there was Nerf Wars, and then there was like, what should we call it? What else do I remember? Um, hmm. Huh. This is one of those like Minecraft villager moments where I go, huh. Let me see. Oh, there was I'm trying to remember all. Well, obviously there's Smosh, right? Like Smosh was like pretty important. Um, who else was there? Whoa, there's like diamonds here. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? There had to have been more, man. This can't be like the end of the list. There's like, I don't know. Like I don't remember the early 2000. Like I don't remember 2011 YouTube as much as I thought I remember. Um, but oh, Forced Fire 101. Dude, the Lego stop motion videos. How could I forget those, man? Those were so impactful, like in regards to my childhood, and they were impactful, more like influential for me as a kid. You know, they helped me to understand that that creative limitations can be pushed. You know, it was really cool. There was also a lot of these like art channels. Or not a lot of these art channels, but I came across art videos. I don't remember any of the channels, you know, because I was trying to like draw anime. What else? And then like, you know, once I got more into gaming, I was playing like a lot of Roblox. I came into Roblox. That was fun. 2000, 2011 Roblox was really an interesting experience. Let's see. Hmm. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these channels will come back to me like in my mind or something. But for now, the point is that like that I used to grow up watching these YouTubers, and they left a very I would say an important impression on me, because a lot of them, you know, as I grew up, I would encounter more and more YouTubers, more voices of different people with different frameworks of thinking, and obviously I would inherit a lot of their frameworks of thinking too, and those to make such an assertion that like, oh, like, you know, you gotta be your own self. No, that's like a load of crap, man. You are the constructed reality of like the various experiences that you have inherited from many people around you, and vice versa. Your experience also plays into that. But I will say, like, realistically speaking, your experience is like your own quote unquote personal experience is like 40%, and the remainder 60 is like everything you had inherited from someone, somewhere, some thought, or whatever. And if you so happen to manage to inherit, say, like, say, 80% of your experiences, well, guess what? That 80% of your experience, somebody has already experienced. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so what you have experienced is actually not that, like, it's, it doesn't, like, make you special. The only way for something to, quote unquote, like, an experience so unique to make you so special is if, like, it has to relate to man experiencing, like, a combination of, like, a spiritual awakening, um, that's related to, like, a God who is a selfless, loving God, and who does not kill, and who just so happens to be who just so happens to have a son, and who has some form of, like metaphysical, like, guided structural realities that dictate the functionality of this world. And even then, people with that kind of experience, it's like, yes, they're still unique, but the common denominator is that they, in order for them to keep being able to progress forward, they have to inherit people in the past, like the history of the past, of whatever that God, whoever that God blessed them with, of said people of that past. I sound very esoteric, but I'm trying really hard not to be esoteric. Sometimes you can't help it, man. But yeah. Oh, okay. Clipping the. Oh my goodness. Please, I just want to leave. Yeah. And I guess, like, because as I was a kid who grew up making these videos, they're important, I guess, because this was an accommodation for me to have, like, an outlet to express myself. And I noticed that the way that I talk is impacted by how one makes video content, actually. And I guess it's a combination of the ADHD thing too, because, like, people with ADHD, they can keep yapping and, like, away so much, so to the point where it's like that they do run your patience, and they don't know how to give you, like, room or space to breathe. Extroverts who have ADHD differ with introverts who have ADHD, and also, like, life experience plays into effect, developmental stuff, but generally, yeah, like, people with ADHD can keep yapping away for hours, man, if you give them the space to do so. And honestly, at this point in my life, like, I think that the best way to approach therapy for at least, like, personal recollection is to really just create content like this, because I'm making this honestly with the thought that the algorithm will realistically not find me. You know what I'm saying? Like this, the way that I'm literally making this video is like in the most like low effort, you know, low like, um, it's in a way where if you somehow manage to discover this video, that's freaking crazy. Um, especially in this day and age of YouTube, like that's really freaking crazy. Um, if you're subscribed, that's, I mean, that makes sense. But if you're like a non-subscriber and you just somehow find my video, that's actually really crazy. But yeah. One thing I remember about like these YouTubers is that they would get very, very, very philosophical. Not philosophical, but they would get pretty deep with their insights. And what they've shared helped me to convey my thoughts better too, and kind of reflect a lot more on what I can introspect on. And honestly, you know, I people will never truly know who the real hero is. I can do my best. I can try and try and try and try to like get people to know who I truly am. But there's a fundamental limitation that I have that I physically cannot control, and you know what that is? It's called time. It's called time, and it's also called opportunity. I will never fully get every single opportunity to convey who I am to somebody, because the limitation of the human is that they're tired, they get bored, they, you know, I have to listen to the other human too, you know. It can't be a one-sided experience. That's like pretty stupid. And so as a result of that, like, I have to be, you know, in a situation where I take turns exchanging information and data about like who I share myself with. I would love to like have somebody get to know me for who I am, but I don't think that that's physically possible, because of actual like physiological constraints. You know, and even people who somehow come across this video, like, they're gonna get bored and they're not gonna watch this video, or they're gonna be busy and they're gonna not have the time to like to listen to what I have to say, because they have their own experiences to like embark on. So in a way, like, what the heck with the stew is sus. That's pretty sus. Okay. You know, as a result, like, it's just one of those things where I don't expect everyone to like to, you know, see eye to eye with or whatever. Like, they won't fully know me for me. And yeah. And honestly, who am I making this for? I'm making this for like, I'm making this for like the kids, the adults, or maybe not all the time for the kids, but I'm making this for people who somehow need something. I don't know what that need could be, but I'm making a content, and that's honestly all I can do in this stage of my existence. I can't like donate like gajillions of dollars to fund my humanitarian projects. Like I can't. I'm limited on resources. I'm broke. I'm like literally trying to like acquire money to feed, like put food on the table or pay the bills or whatever. Like you know, and the only thing I can truly do is like ask somebody who's free whether they have time to listen to whatever comforting words or whatever cool ideas I have in my mind, and have moments of like appreciation for deep expressions of thought that's aired out to the like the waves of the internet. And that's all I can truly do, and also pray for them. And obviously if they want to call, I mean, yeah, I'd be open to making that phone call. But yeah, that's all I can truly do. Can't really, I don't have all the authoritative stretches of influence or whatever. You know what I mean? um and okay, don't get this the wrong way. I am not an introvert, actually. In fact, I am like the most extroverted person ever. So for me, like, the world is like my oyster, and I just go freaking swipe everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't hold back on my approaches, unless, like, obviously I have to account for the fact that people get uncomfortable, and that's fine, right? Like, I gotta give people boundaries. People are introverted, people just don't like people. I get that. So I'm like, okay, I gotta be hands off about it. But the point is, I personally am not, um, dare I say, I do not cower away from the social interactions of the daily life. In fact, I embrace it. I love it. Um, so yeah. And so I think whenever I have an opportunity to do so, I should record, and I should just talk, because maybe then would I be blessed to like have an open and forward thinking way to remember what to keep track of, or what to be on track of. Because honestly, like, this burdens my soul, man. But yeah, not having I made a post. It was on Instagram, but it was basically like me saying like, hold on. It was me basically like, give me a sec. It was me basically like, venting about like YouTube shorts, and like, what the heck, did I just see a dragon in the distance? Yo, ain't no way. Dude, that was a dragon. That was a freaking dragon. Oh my goodness, that's a dragon. I hope it doesn't come near me, and like, I hope it's not angry, bruh. Don't know if that thing is very dangerous. I should like walk away from that. But I kind of, no. Hold on. Let me just like, ah, shoot. Okay, I gotta dip, bro. Oh, it's a homie with the axe. He's about to ask me a question, bro. Did I lose him? Yeah, I think I lost him. Yeah, so it's basically me like ranting about YouTube Shorts and how it's deteriorating my mind. And oh yeah, okay. So yeah, basically this is what I said. Occupying with work doesn't seem to help either. In fact, I feel more inclined to do that. That as in just binge watching YouTube videos, like, or not YouTube videos, like YouTube Shorts or whatever. The fact that I don't have the healthy amount of human interaction that's spiritually nourishing and culturally creatively engaging also absolutely doesn't help with my situation. The people that are constructive in my life all live very far away, and the fact that this country lacks walking spaces and has a horrendous infrastructure problem doesn't seem to help with the problem either. I sure would love to get deported back to my country. I decided to say something edgy just for the sake of the memes, but well, kind of. I do feel pretty like I'm like, yeah, I want to go back to a different to back to my country, but anyways, enough ranting. Let me finish. I sure would love to get deported back to my country, but even then, I wouldn't feel at quote unquote home either. I would truly never feel satisfied unless I decided to create a village. Honestly, I want to pull off a modern day equivalent of a Vinland Saga, where I go to many faraway places and set up several villages for people to inhabit that's sustained off a principle that is of God. Only He can make that possible. LMAO, laughing my ankles off. Oh yeah, and then I posted like a Doge meme, and the Doge meme, it would get me canceled on Twitter or something. But yeah, and like yeah, I desire creative pursuits, but the fundamental problem is that I can't have access to, like, for me, the way that I generate idea is through just like talking to people, but it's hard when there's like not enough people to talk to. You hear, right? And so like and so maybe this is what I need to do, is like make videos expressing my thoughts, so that hopefully like I can draw out like the blessings that's like deeply seated in my mind that I need to like have the ability to organize, that I'm like talking it out. Because honestly, like I tried I scheduled a therapist. Me being the dingus that I am, I literally forgot when I scheduled them, and so during the days that like they would call me, they're like, hey, like they would like text me maybe like 2 days prior. I would forget like 2 days later because I was preoccupied with something. If that doesn't tell you I have ADHD, that I don't know what freaking will. But yeah, I feel so stupid like for that, but it's not, I don't really condemn myself or anything. It's just kind of silly, man. It is a very like haha cartoon moment, but it's pretty detrimental for me, man. It's like, because I want to like get I need to have methods to resolve my confliction that's going on in my head, and I need a way to resolve those situational like inconveniences, but like I keep hindering myself from being able to do so. It's annoying. It's really annoying. And And so for me, the question is what am I doing? Well, yeah. What am I doing now? The date is... Whoa. Different fish. Okay. The date is June 9th, 2024. And it's like 5 in the morning now. I have to take my mom to like her job, her work. And today I don't work today. And I'm working at a chiropractic and acupuncture place, and so like, yeah, like that's what I'm doing, man. And it's cool stuff. I like that. And I'm just like going through this existence, trying to sustain off of the principles I've inherited and the blessing that a loving God has given me. I mean, that's honestly what I can really do. And sometimes I feel at peace, knowing the fact that at least I can confidently say that someone's looking out for me, and that I can focus on what's important in life, like proper relationship building and better character development, and I can freely like feel at peace doing it without thinking about the existential like dread of like, you know, the the afterlife, because I know what's gonna happen in the afterlife. Well, my understanding is very different than most people. Actually, in fact, my understanding is super unique. It's Christian. It's just very unorthodox. It's very heterodox, actually. In fact, I'll put it straight up. I do not believe in the immortality of the soul. I think that when you die, right? And that the only time you will ever be resurrected is if it's the day that Jesus comes. That's it. That's the only time I will ever believe, or not I will ever believe, but more like that's the only time you will ever be resurrected. I guess if you're in the situation of someone who has inherited everything that God wants to bless humans with, or yeah, and whether that human decided to have that kind of connection or relationship with the loving God, right? But like those that felt that God is unworthy for them, you know, then like God can't like exert his presence over those that reject that, and so therefore he has to like walk away from that. And what that does to the human is that in fact it actually kills the human. But you know that one, like the train trolley like question or whatever, right? God has to basically deal with his own train trolley situation. But the punchline is for his situation there actually is an answer, And that answer is not something that's pleasant for everyone to hear, because fundamentally it has to relate with the brutal nature of like free will, in regards to when free will has been misused. And so like if humans don't want the presence of a god who has their best interest, and they cannot truly trust that, at the same time that god cannot exert his presence upon that human, and will not do that, because that god loves that human enough to give them the freedom to not be present in their premises, I guess. And that has a slew of consequences, like, I mean, like, or rather chains of effects. And yeah. Wow, I'm in the freaking ocean. Okay. But yeah. So oh no. These things are freaking scary, man. I gotta walk away. Or swim away. I guess like, yeah. Anyways, so I'll be making more videos if I need to, because I need to air out my thoughts or something. But yeah, if you've somehow encountered this video, it's really cool. And I think I think that sometimes I would love to talk about this with like a lot of my like close friends, or who I feel like, or not even close friends, but just like friends that I've known for a long time. It's just, it's hard for me to like to talk about it, because I have to be confronted with their immediate like reaction, and they can't just like sit down and just like listen to like, or like at least like hear me out. And because like I'm so ADHD, like if my train of thought gets disrupted, it it completely derails my point that I was trying to make, or like my stream of thoughts or dialogue that I was contemplating and whatnot. And so honestly, maybe like this is like the best way to communicate to people on an individual level. I hate the fact that it feels, it like creates this feeling of like parasocialness, but I think that that is ultimately necessary, at least for a generation who's basically grown up on the internet, is that they low-key appreciate a parasocial experience. And when, or maybe it's not the fact that they like it or they appreciate it, but maybe it's the fact that they're just so used to it, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Or maybe, who knows, they don't even like it at all. Whatever. The point is, I just hope that someone somewhere out there in this world knows how I feel, and who knows, maybe he gets to have the privilege of experiencing what I've been experiencing. I'm not trying to be like some revolutionary like philosopher of my time or whatever. You know, I just want to be a. I just want to like. Oh no! Oh no! Not you! Not you! Not you! Not you! Not you! Not you! No, get away from me! Get away from me! Get away from me! I just want to like honestly express myself. That's it. And if somehow my expression feels so offensive, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry that we think differently. But yeah. Okay. Alright, come here. Come here. Haha. Oh shoot. You do a lot of damage. Oh my goodness. Huh. Oh shoot. You do a lot of damage there, brother. Okay, hold on. Yeah. We getting that snipes, bruh. Yeah. I think that's all I have to say for tonight. It's getting late, and I think it is that time of the hour where things are slowing down. Right there, Mr. Fishy. Oh shoot, what the heck, man. Yeah, boy. I'm gonna get this dub, bruh. Yeah, you see this fish? Yeah, I just ate this fish. Oh, that's a lionfish. You are you like a lionfish or something? Why are you so far? Holy moly, that does a lot of freaking damage. Okay, you're like a lionfish incarnate or something. Alright, check out this footage of me trying to fight this fish guy thing. Let's see. Oh, if Fortnite has taught me anything, I could just do this. Hold on. Check this out. I'm about to wreck this guy. Haha. Your moves are like the mosquito doing the mambo. Ungraceful. Lacking technique. What the heck, man? Oh, you're here too. And don't bring your friends. Oh my goodness. Now you're gonna call the entire freaking army. Great. Now all of China knows I'm here. Come on, come on, come on. Let's scrap, bro.